Hello, everybody. You're welcome to another episode of the Coffee and Beans podcast. It's been a minute that we've released episodes, and we're trying to get together great content for our listeners. A big thank you to our listeners and our followers on all our social media platforms. We appreciate the feedback. We appreciate the follow-up. For those that are asked when new episodes were coming up, well, now we have new episodes rolling up. So a big thank you to everyone who has checked on us. This episode and other episodes will focus on entrepreneurship. So we're taking stories of entrepreneurs and business owners based in Nigeria and Nigerians or Africans in diaspora. I think as an entrepreneur myself, it's important that we get to learn from the stories of entrepreneurs and how they got to where they are. Entrepreneurs contribute a lot to the economy, and I think they are the unsung heroes. They're the ones keeping the economy alive, if I might say so. Today's episode is sponsored by Vesta Coffee. Vesta Coffee is a premium coffee franchise with locations in Victoria Island and Ikoyi. And look out for vouchers. We have special vouchers for our loyal fans and followers. Check us out on our social media platforms, where we'll be giving out questions and quizzes for us to have opportunities to win vouchers. Now, today, I have a friend of mine, a fellow colleague in the industry. He's Opeolu Afolabi. He's the founder of menswear brand Green Cutton. Green Cutton was founded in 2010, but he went full-time in 2016. What was he doing between 2010 and 2016? Well, he worked in one of the top 4 accounting firms, Deloitte. He's an accountant, a chartered accountant, if I might say so. A very brilliant friend, a very brilliant guy. And we will just be doing a deep dive, trying to glean from his story and from where he's coming from and where we are and what he's up to right now. So, welcome.
Yeah,
welcome.
Thank you, Shola, for having me. I mean, it's a big privilege to be here.
No, I always tell people that the greatness of men really is in their stories. Like when you see people doing great things, you always want to know what they've been up to.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah. So how you doing? How's business?
Yes, I'm good. Business is going on well. We're doing what we can do despite the economy.
Yes, indeed. Like I said, that we the entrepreneurs are the unsung heroes.
Exactly.
I tell people that getting in this economy, having to still maintain a healthy workforce, having to deal with everything and still try to make profit.
Exactly.
I mean, we are the ones that should be given the gold medals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've been doing what we can do. It's been crazy, it's been fun, it's been tears, there's been laughter.
Yeah, so I think it's important for people to also know that it's not just the Instagram, the fun part of the business. It's the grit, the suffer. If I can use that word.
A lot of things happen behind the scene, outside social media.
Yeah.
For some of us that started this whole thing way before social media became what it is right now. Yeah. It's been a whole lot. Now everybody's on social media. We are on social media as well, of course. To push our business, our brand, and everything. It's been crazy.
Yeah. Anyways, so we'll go into all of that, but let's circle back. I mean, when you first told me that you're a chartered accountant, I'm like, what's a chartered accountant doing in a creative space like fashion? How did you get? I mean, was it one of those things where you knew that you wanted to be an accountant from when you were little? How did that accounting thing come?
So I'm just gonna take you back into my journey, and so first of all, back in secondary school, I was a science student. So
wow.
I never had any plan to be an accountant, in any way. I was science, I was very good in physics, chemistry, and, the rest of the science subjects. But of course, JAM did this thing. I didn't get
JAM does, yes.
JAM me like twice, And I had my sister that was an accountant.
Okay.
She was writing an ACCA back then. That's a professional accounting course. Yeah. So she just asked me one of those days, and she asked if... No, she didn't ask actually. What happened was they had a prize-giving event where they usually have like a fellowship for professional accounting students.
Right.
And I just went with her, and I saw people, getting prizes for best in this, best in that. And so after that event, I just asked her, and I was like, this thing open to everybody. She was like, yeah, I mean, you have your O levels, you did economics and everything, so you can actually just start off. So basically, I started my professional accounting course with my O levels. That was before I gained admission into the uni. And also, while I started the professional accounting course, I was like, okay, what's the point of it to still do a science-related course?
Yeah.
So I just decided to put in for accounting, in Unilag, and I got in. What I was combining my accounting course in uni with my professional accounting course. ICANN actually.
Okay, so question: did anything ever did it ever happen where whatever it is they taught you in uni, you already knew about it already?
Yes, exactly. So whatever I was being taught in uni back then, I already had basic knowledge.
Knowledge.
I was like 2 steps ahead in my professional accounting course. That's ICANN.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was more like, okay, repetition, and we just do what we have to do in
So
I'm
uni. Guessing you were acing
yes.
your grades.
I was acing, it was stressless in that part, having to, because I had basic knowledge of almost everything.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so I guess that was where the whole idea that was why I think I could actually combine with a business.
With a business, right.
Exactly.
Right.
So it wasn't like I was studying biochemistry in uni, then I was in accounting
yes,
course.
So
it was accounting.
There was a conflict. Yeah, it was.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. So, after a while, I got chartered. I got qualified in my 400 level in school.
How many years course is the accounting? 4 years.
I mean, for the professional side of it,
okay,
it's supposed to be 3 years.
3 years.
I started from 8 years one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean that's if you're acing all your papers,
right?
Like in one sitting and all that. So I got chartered in my 400 level. That was my 4th year in Unilag.
Uni, okay.
Yeah. So before then, I got this idea to start a fashion business. Because obviously I like to dress nice. So a lot of people usually ask me, where did you get your stuff from? So I'm always like their, go-to plug, right, to get their stuff. So I started the fashion business in 2010, right? So and I graduated in uni in 2012.
Okay.
Yeah. So I became a chartered accountant in that same 2012, right? So it was the fashion thing was a side also, obviously.
Okay, so if I understand you started Green Cutton, what we know now as Green Cutton in 2010.
Yeah, exactly.
But you had finished. You were chartered in you finished school in 2012.
2012, yeah.
So in school you did 2 years of. So you were running a business. You were doing a business for 2 years. You were doing a business.
Yes.
You were doing your professional courses,
exactly.
Accounting, and you were
in uni.
Wow.
Yeah. So those 3 things were things I was always doing. I mean, it's a whole lot because throughout that my journey doing my ICANN and running my BSc course, and of course when the business came in later in 2010,
yeah,
it was always back to back, being busy for me because whenever we are done with so 8 years in ICANN used to be March and September. So
okay,
if you write the first diet in March, if you scale through or if you need to repeat any paper, you need to write the next one in September that year.
Okay.
And trust me, first semester and second semester exam in uni, it's somewhere in between.
Yeah, yes.
So once I wrap up with my ICANN exam,
you're on to reading
back to school exams.
Wow.
So it was really back to back for me.
So how did you find the balance in business, getting things for customers and all that? How do you find the balance?
Yes, because I'm this person that whatever I decide I want to do, I just want to do my best. And it was usually very crazy, trust me. But it was basically for friends, close friends, and family. Then,
okay, and you were paid?
Yes, I was paid, of course.
Okay.
I mean, shout out to all my pioneer customers. They always pay.
Okay.
Even though not so much them, but
of course.
Most of them were students and all of that. And a whole lot of them are still my customers still today.
Wow, they're the best.
They're all big boys in the industry right now. So in 2010, that was when the business kicked off, and I was combining business, ICANN,
and school and being a student.
And of course I became chartered in 2012. So that was the end of ICANN for me, and I also graduated in school.
So the same year you graduated was the same year you did your ICANN. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it was interesting for me. It was a big achievement for me at that time because. I was just very happy because I was able to combine all those things within that short time. Okay. And obviously I'm a graduate. I'm a child accountant. I did my NYC and all of that. So the next thing is, what's next?
Looking for a job.
So
I'll pause you on that. I mean, at that point, did you feel like the business you were running was? I mean, of course, it was fetching you some good money.
Yeah.
Did you feel that it was enough to stand on its own then? Did you think it was? I mean, if I put as much effort into doing this business, I could run it as a standalone, or it was just a means to an end, just to put you through school, and that was it.
Yes, so it wasn't big enough to stand on its own. Obviously, then it was just a little pocket money to change from here and there,
just to move around,
because I didn't want to start asking my family or my parents for money anymore. You get that kind of thing,
right?
So it was never enough to kick up by itself,
right?
You understand? But I've always had in mind that in the nearest future I would like to do this full time.
Okay.
So what I was doing at that time was basically, unconsciously, I was amassing clientele.
Wow.
You understand? I had a lot of clients that, like I said before, last time my customers still today. Mm-hmm. So that was basically what I think I benefited throughout my journey in uni, in terms of the business side of it.
Right.
Because I was doing that not because it was a lot of money, it was just something to survive with, but it was a learning curve for me at that time because, a lot of mistakes that some people might be making right now when they have, full-blown into the business. I made all those mistakes in the past when it didn't have to cost me a whole lot, understanding the business and everything. Yeah, so so the next thing was to get a job,
right?
And I got a job into one of the big 4 accounting firms.
Wow. So which is also another very interesting part of your journey, mm-hmm. in terms of how a lot of people will go into companies like Deloitte and say, wow, I'm here, but you were still able to still be in Deloitte and not lose focus as to where the fact that you wanted to do your business. So tell us more about that. How you were able to your 2 year you were in Deloitte from 2016.
Yeah.
So you graduated in 2012.
Yeah.
So between 2012 and 2014, when you got the job, what were you were you still doing your business then?
Yeah. So graduated 2012. NYC was 2013.
Of course. Yeah.
So that was between 2013 to 2014.
Okay.
So when I actually got the job was 2014.
Right.
Yeah.
Fresh out from
NYC.
Wow.
I think NYC finished NYC in March, and I think I got into Deloitte in May or June thereabout.
Wow.
Yeah. So between 2012. So I luckily for me I stayed in Lagos. Initially I was posted to Cross River. So we
all know how that goes.
I just know there's no way I can be here because One, my business was going to suffer. Not because I knew I was going to leave my job in 2016, but just because I had people calling me. So that sense of responsibility
to your clientele,
to my clients. So I don't want to be unavailable.
Right.
I just told myself after the NYC, 3 weeks in camp was okay. There wasn't network in that camp like that. Whoever knows Obubra in Cross River knows that it's a very crazy camp. I've never left Lagos like that. No, I've never lived outside Lagos.
Outside Lagos, okay.
So it was a big
was a big shift
for me.
For you, yeah.
Yes. So number one, the journey was crazy. I went by road and all that. So I knew I was not gonna be there for too long. So after the camp, found my way to Lagos. We deployed and all of that. So during that period, so that was the major deal breaker for me. That was what I'll say has made me where I am right now.
Right.
Because if I'd stayed back in Cross River, I'm not sure
you'll be doing what you're doing now.
I'll be doing what I'm doing right now, with Green Cutton. So I came back to Lagos. I also got a job in this smaller accounting firm. I was close to where I saw my fabrics in Lagos Island. So after work or during my break time, I just quickly go down to the market,
do what you need to do.
Do what I need to do, get the fabrics, get everything done, and I come back to work. So that 1 year was when I knew that, okay, yes, I kind of combine this, So after the NYC, that was when I got a job in Deloitte.
Okay.
2014. And
so when you got a job in Deloitte, did you think that, this is my dream job, I have everything I need?
Yes, obviously for any
was there the temptation to, this job that I have to be running on the streets, I'm in an office, I'm in an AC office, I have all my needs met.
So first of all these things happened in different stages. So the initial feeling was, oh God, thank God, I've been hoping to get into the big four, either at Deloitte, like KPMG, PwC, or EY. And then one of them has finally happened. Luckily for me, they were still on the mainland then, so it was very close to my house. So I just knew that, okay, yeah, this looks like, something very good for me. I was very happy. It's like almost every accountant graduate's dream to start up their career in the Big Four. Right. So I was elevated. I was happy then. So when I started working, and of course, customers were calling to make orders and all of that. So there were a lot of orders that I couldn't take. I would just, turn them down because I was really focused on my 9-to-5 job. It was really time consuming. There were times we had to work on weekends. So when I mean weekend, not just Saturday and Sunday sometimes.
Wow.
And we were a small team then. And you know what it is when, there's a vision to build the team bigger. That's my unit then.
Unit, okay. So what was your role?
So I was in corporate finance. I was a financial analyst.
Financial analyst, okay.
Yeah. So we do a lot of we provide a lot of services for different clients. So and so in the Big Four we always we dress corporately.
Corporately, yeah.
Yeah. So we find people ask me, where did you get your stuff from? As usual, yeah, I made it. Yeah, make for me and all of those things. That was when I really shifted my Green Cutton brand to majorly an English brand because.
Okay, what did you start with?
So I started with t-shirts.
T-shirts. Oh, okay.
Yeah, urban wears and all of that.
Right.
While I was in uni.
Okay.
Yeah. So I started getting a lot of orders, suits, shirts, pants, and all of that. So I started making it for them, and I was not exactly even publicizing my brand in the firm then.
But because you were in that space where a lot of people were wearing the corporate
exactly
outfits.
So I had friends that would make stuff for, and then their friends would also ask them, or their colleagues rather, also ask them, we'll get this, he's paying corporate finance, they'll come, they'll buzz me, and it kind of started spreading like that.
Like wildfire.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it was getting too much for me, and I knew I loved my Green Cutton brand, and I had plans for it in the near future. I was thinking maybe I was going to work for about 5 years, then set up properly and everything. But sometimes when we plan these things, just keep doing what you have to do, put in your best at every time,
right.
And things will just unfold by itself. So I had like a mentor, Brother Tope, and he's an accountant as well. He works in an oil and gas company then, and I told him, he asked me how I was combining all of these things, and I explained to him that, bro, it's not be easy and all of that, but so he just told me one thing that I held on to. It was like, okay, you know what? Don't stop putting effort in your business. You understand? Let your business push you out of your paid job. And what that meant then was, keep putting effort. Don't say you don't want to publicize your business. You don't want to market your business. You don't want to let people know just because you have a paid job, because you think you can't combine, for too long.
For too long, yeah.
He told me I should keep putting that effort and, let my business push me out of the paid job.
Out the paid job.
Yeah. I shouldn't just, resign because I think I'm overworked and everything. So I held on to that. Started marketing my business more. People started calling me, for jobs and everything and all of that.
But how were you finding time? You said you work sometimes 7 days a week.
Yes.
So how are you finding time between when you get orders to having your team work on it, having supervisors? How were you able to juggle that?
Yeah. So like I said before, it was crazy. I had so I don't think if I have to talk about this, I think I can keep talking about this for a whole week. So I had a team, very small team of 2 guys.
Yeah.
And I would normally outsource to them.
Yeah.
And all of that. So when I need to work on weekends, it's not usually 9 a.m.
Of course, yeah.
So sometimes you don't have to come to work until like maybe 11.
Yeah.
Then probably leave like 3, 4. Sometimes even work till late. But I had time before resumption or after closing on weekends. Sundays is not so common to come to work every Sunday. Yeah. Maybe once Sunday or twice, depending on the engagement that we are working on in the office. So I almost have a lot the whole day on Sundays sometimes. So I basically work Monday to Sundays.
Wow.
So my 9 to 5 and my business. So I did that for 2 years, and there are times that I fell sick, and I went to the hospital, and they checked me, did blood test, no malaria, parasites, no nothing. I was fine health-wise,
yourself,
but I felt like I was dying at the same time. So I was really stressed, and I just knew that, okay, there's no way
I could keep this up.
I could keep this up, So I didn't want my business to suffer, and also did not want my paid job to suffer. So the decision was just for me to leave one. So I left my paid job. And
what was the reaction of your friends, loved ones to your resignation?
Yeah, so because for my mom initially, when before I told her I wanted to resign. No, okay, I told her I wanted to resign at the time, but she was like, I don't work for like a few more years before you take this decision, because my mom is a businesswoman as well. Okay. So she understands what is in for business. But she just didn't want me to, just resign too early and all that. But, I kept that. My sisters, they are corporate ladies. My sister was coming from the angle of business plan. So what's the business plan for the next 2 or 3 years?
Yes,
how do you want to survive if you are, what's your historical performance in your business, and all of that. Because everything was sketchy, right? So I could not, preparing a business plan was one of the things we used to do for clients.
Exactly.
And everything. So I did a rough one, eventually I didn't show up, I just looked at it myself, All the questions she asked me was for me to go, answer it by myself, and all of that. So,
So I have a question. Opeolu.
Yeah.
For that person who wants to venture out on his own, how important is it to get the advice of people who are family? Like, you are the one you are the one doing the work. You are the one juggling the business. You know that this is the right time to leave. But of course, because of they care about you.
Yes.
They don't want to see you go hungry. They don't want you to come and meet them and say, please, can you borrow me? So, of course, they will. So I've had, even when I wanted to resign, I've had people tell me all sorts. Oh, don't do it. It's not the right time. But I knew it was the right time to say. So, how important is it? If you are convicted, do you just go ahead and do it, or is it also nice to run it by people and say, what do you think? What's your take on that?
Yeah. So yeah. All of that happened, but Yeah, it's not a bad idea to run it by people. I mean, not just people who understand what it is to combine a 9 to 5 and a business, or those who understand business. Do you understand?
Right.
It's very important to know who you're speaking with. You know, you just don't randomly discuss with someone who probably does not have the experience or does not understand what it takes. So for me, it was more of a calculated risk, and I always tell anybody this. So then, when I was resigning, of course, my family, they want the best for me.
Yes.
And you know, so after all my complaints, I can't combine this anymore. I just want to leave, and you know, so what we eventually resorted into was, okay, you have your degree, you're a chartered accountant, you have your 2 years plus working experience.
Bad as a bad event.
What's the worst thing that can happen? You know, if this does not kick off in 1 year, do you understand?
Right.
Worst thing that can happen is that you return to a paid job, right? But I knew I did not have any plans to return to a paid job. I was like, okay, this is like a do or die for me. I need to get this running.
Right.
Do you understand? Whether I like it or not. But I think what I enjoyed that period was the fact that I'm building the customer base,
which was very important.
Which was very important for me. Do you understand? If I started off when I got into Deloitte, then yes, could have still kicked off too, you know. So I always say this: calculated risk. Do you understand? Because if you have to combine for a short, of course, there's nobody that will be able to combine for a very depending on the kind of business you are doing. You know, my own kind of business, you know, involves a lot of consultation, production, you know, and delivery. You understand? Some people have stuff that they just sell off the shelf. You know, they just retail stuff basically. You know, I don't know. You can still combine that, but I mean, at the end of the day, when your business starts getting bigger, you just know that you have to do this full time if you know what you're doing. So for me, it was this calculated risk. You know.
Okay. If you didn't have the health challenge, do you think you'd have still spent some more time in paid employment?
No. It wasn't a serious health challenge. It was just, you know, overworking. Exactly. Yes. So if I started off my career in a different environment,
right?
Yeah, maybe I would have still worked for another maybe 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
But I'm happy I found myself in that space. I'm happy I found myself in Deloitte that, you know, that helped me, you know, push myself faster.
Yeah, and I think you're working in the corporate space also enhanced your business, sort of defined what Green Cutton is today in terms of the demand for suits, corporate wear, and all of that. So I mean, it's all I'm a strong believer in that things don't happen by chance. Everything happens for a reason.
Exactly. So I was really able to maximize the opportunity that I got from that. Apart from defining my brand in terms of the kind of outfit that we make, it's also helped me in structuring.
Right. Yeah. Very important.
You know, building a proper structure. You know, it's not like I didn't have any funding from anywhere. You know, it was just profit that I was just reinvesting back. You understand? So, yeah.
So how important is it for anybody wanting to go into business to work in a structured environment? I mean, I can relate to what you are saying because I worked in a real estate firm that had department, had structure, and years after I resigned, it's something that I feel it was very, very important. So how important is it for that person who wants to run his own business but wants to take a deep dive from school straight to running their business? Do you think they need to have that corporate experience?
There's no one should fit all kind of answer to this. I would say if you have the opportunity, and depending on the stage where your business is, if you have the opportunity, if your business is still in the early stage, if you have the opportunity, if it's just going to be 6 months, 1 year, I will encourage people to do that, get that experience, but don't let your business suffer.
Because some people go into business because there aren't any jobs.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
I'm speaking for that person who is telling me the reason why I'm even doing this business in the first place is because I applied for a few jobs and I didn't get any. So is it that I should sign up for like a volunteer, or I should sign up as an intern and do the work?
So if someone started up their business because there are no jobs and everything, you can actually keep doing your business full time, not necessarily getting any corporate experience. And what I can just tell you to do is you can get trainings. There are trainings, there are material, there are seminars where they can show you about the rudiments of business generally. Yeah. And those things are very key. So it's not compulsory. I don't think it's compulsory. You have to. If you have the opportunity, yes, all well and good. Yeah. Okay. But if not, there are always trainings for that.
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to talk briefly on funding. You said most of the time, most of what you how you were able to start fully being confident was money that was plowed back from
business
profits. Did having a salary also help to add to your bottom line when it came to like starting out? Did you have any savings? Did you approach a bank for a loan? Did you get friends and family to plow in to pump money into your business? How did that go?
Okay, yes. So in terms of funding, of course, there were funds that mostly from business profit. So I worked for about 2 years, right? 2 years plus actually. So it wasn't like I was paid a lot of money. I was an associate.
Yeah, okay.
You understand? So the money was enough for me to, survive with and everything. So I would say when I resigned then, I had like savings for my corporate job that could last me for about, say, 5-6 months.
Right.
If I'm not even making anything for my business.
Right.
You understand? So I had that planned out to say, okay, worst case scenario, if this business is not going the way I want it to go at that early stage, so what am I going to do? So I had savings for 6 months. It wasn't a lot of money, but...
And you were not married then?
I wasn't married, yes, exactly. And I just knew that, okay, this is fine for me for 6 months. So that was that. But in terms of setting up the business proper, right, getting a showroom, doing all I needed to do and all of that, they were 100% from the business.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me see, 95 to 100%.
100% of the business.
So I'm a very conservative person. I'm not a loud spender. So I don't spend excessively. So most of the profit I was making from my business,
you're just planning it back.
I was planning back, and all of that. So
wow. And it's been 6 years of running Green Cutton full time.
Yeah, 6 years. Grateful to God.
Yeah. What's Green Cutton up to these days? What would you say has been your greatest challenge in 6 years of running it as a full time business?
Yeah. So. Biggest challenge. There's so many challenges actually,
and that's why I said biggest, because challenge is daily.
So the biggest challenge has basically been the economy right now because of the exchange rate. Yeah. Right, we understand that the income is not increasing at the same rate with inflation. So it's crazy for a lot of people, right? But we're still here, we're still surviving. And aside from that, staffing and all of that, managing staff and all that. So, right now, we have a better team right now in terms of an operational manager and, admin and all of that. So those are the 2 things that I would say has been my major challenge.
Okay. Yeah. Tell us about menswear.com. I know that it's a project that you're working on. Can you shed more light on that?
Yeah, so for menswear.com, before now, it's always been corporate wears with Green Cutton. So, even though we used to make a lot of traditional attire, Kaftan, and all of that for people on the side, but we don't exactly push that because, I always wanted Green Cutton to be an English brand kind of thing. But of course, there's a big market for trad natives and all of that. So I headed to create like a brand that I call menscaptan.com.
Okay.
Under Green Cutton, right? So that's just supposed to cater for traditional wear, strictly traditional wear, and it's going to be a digitalized form of shopping experience for men.
Nice.
You know,
is it like it's like a ready to wear?
So it is both ready to wear and yeah,
and custom made. Okay.
Yeah, made to measure or bespoke, as people call it. So I call it made to measure because what you see, whatever design you see, is what you get. So
Right.
it's just that we're making it to your own
specifics.
Yeah.
Nice.
Your own specific measurement.
Is it live yet?
Yeah, it's gonna be live very soon.
Okay.
Very soon. We're working. Did so many things. The back end.
I mean, that's because there's a whole new focus on tech. Tech is like the new space. So I'm guessing you're trying to. This is more fashion in tech.
Yes, exactly. So this is more like fashion and tech because the whole world is going tech now, and you just have to ask yourself how you can use tech to enhance your business, how you can make it seamless for people. And trust me, this idea really came up from the pandemic, lockdown actually. Where after it started easing off a bit, I couldn't physically see a lot of my clients.
Right.
A lot of people that had relocated before then and after then. So we used to do a lot of virtual measurements where I tell them to get a measuring tape and, we just go over the measurement and get it done. But instead of doing that, in a live video we saw, I just thought, okay, why not put this on a platform, on my website, and people can see all these videos, do what they see there, put in their measurement there, and they get the outfits in 48 hours.
How accurate has that been? I mean, before you put it on the site, there's like a format you give your people. So how accurate has that been?
So before now it's been virtual because I'm live in the video.
Right. So you can tell them
this and that.
Yeah.
So but for right now, this menscaptan.com is also be an MVP. That's minimum viable product.
Right.
So we just intend to test run it. We will make sure that there are instructions there to make sure that people need to adhere strictly to the measurement guide. Right. So I've tested with a few friends. 90 to 95% accurate.
Right.
You understand? So we tend to roll it out very soon.
Okay.
So we'll see. We will need to make any correction, any amendment. So definitely do that.
Okay, I'm sure we'll bring you back on the pod and you let us know how Men's Kaftan has been. So what's the future for Green Cutton?
Of course, go global.
In the fashion space.
Yeah, in the fashion space, Yeah, because so right now we have a lot of our customers outside the country.
Yeah.
Right. So we tend to have stores, very soon. We're trusting God for that.
Yeah. That's a dream.
The dream can never be too big,
Yeah.
So
last words. What's your advice for that person who is currently juggling his business, who really wants to start out, but is scared, is not so sure of that decision? What would you, as somebody who has been in that position, what would you tell him or her?
Yeah. So I mean, for anyone in that situation right now, I'll just tell you: be bold, be courageous. You are the best person that can advise yourself, right? You know what you're doing. You're focused. You're serious with your business and your 9 to 5. You know the best time by yourself. You can seek opinions, good, but keep working. Don't doubt yourself for a second. There'll be hard times, obviously, but look at the bigger picture. And if you have to take advice from people, be very selective about it, right? Of course, pray to God, very important. Yeah. So, and just take a calculated risk. What's the worst thing that can happen?
Calculated risk. What's the worst that can happen? Where can we find you?
Yeah, so my business page is Green Cutton. Green is color green, GREENCUTTON. A lot of people make mistakes. It's Green Cutton, CUTTON. Actually, Green Cutton. And of course, Men's Kaftan is Men's Kaftan. MENSKAFTAN.
So Green Cutton on all social media platforms.
On all social media platforms.
Right.
Men's Kaftan on all social media platforms.
Okay. Thank you so much, Opeolu Afolabi, for your time.
Thank you.
We appreciate you sharing your story.
Thank you.
We wish you nothing but the best in business and in life. We trust that you would always be available to mentor the young and up and coming, not just people in fashion, but people in business who are willing to make a mark.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shola, for having me.
You are very welcome. You're very welcome. And thank you everyone for listening. This was a very informative episode. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram. We are at Coffee Beans Pod. Send us an email, coffeebeanspod@gmail.com. This episode was sponsored by Vesta Coffee. Tune in for more information on how you can win vouchers from Vesta Coffee. Follow us on our social media pages for more information. Thank you very much for listening. Catch you on the next episode of the Coffee and Beans Pod. Till you hear from me, or till I hear from you, drink coffee and stay fresh.